Welcome to Norse Social Stories. In today's episode, we're going to peel back the layers of Viking history and uncover the hidden stories of Viking women and their role in Viking marriages. You may think you know how Vikings lived, loved, and formed relationships, but the truth behind Viking marriages is far more complex and fascinating than you might expect. In this video, we'll explore everything from marriage rituals, customs, to the roles that love, loyalty, and family played in Viking society. The Viking approach to partnership wasn't just about the union of two people. It was about honor, loyalty, and sometimes even survival. Viking marriages were built on values that went far beyond the simple idea of love. Let's uncover the true nature of Viking unions, what their weddings and rituals looked like, and the code of conduct that governed their marriages. From bride prices to the vital role of Viking women, this is a story of love, duty, and strength. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the fascinating world of Viking marriage. When it comes to Viking marriages, they were anything but ordinary. The Viking wedding was a significant event, deeply ingrained with ritual and cultural significance. It wasn't just a celebration of the couple, but a bond between two families, a social contract that would shape their lives for years to come. The first key aspect of a Viking marriage was the bride price. This wasn't just a monetary exchange. It was a demonstration of the value the groom placed on his bride and the respect between the two families. The bride price was meant to protect the woman, ensuring her security if the marriage were ever dissolved. This was a financial commitment that bound the families together, making the marriage about mutual support and respect. The ceremony itself was a sacred union, often beginning with sacrifices to the gods. The Vikings, deeply religious and spiritual, believed that for the union to succeed, they needed the blessings of their gods. These sacrifices could range from offerings of food, weapons, and even animals, with prayers for protection, prosperity, and fertility. Viking marriages were also marked by a strong sense of loyalty. The couple would swear oaths to each other, pledging their undying commitment and honor. The ceremony often included a hand-fasting ritual, where the couple's hands were tied together with a cord as a symbol of their unbreakable bond. While Viking marriages may seem to be dominated by the male warrior image, Viking women played a crucial role in shaping the dynamic of their marriages. These women were not simply wives in the traditional sense, but active participants in every aspect of Viking society, including marriage. Women in Viking society held a lot of power, especially within their marriages. Unlike in many other societies of the time, Viking women had rights. They could own property, initiate divorce, and had a significant voice in family matters. When a woman married, she was not just joining the man's family, but rather forming a partnership between two powerful families, where her voice, too, mattered. The role of women was especially prominent in managing the household, ensuring the survival of the family when their husbands were away on raids or wars. They were responsible for maintaining the household, managing resources, preparing food, and looking after children. But women were also expected to uphold the honor of their families and could even fight in battle to protect their clans if necessary. One example is Aud the Deep-Minded, a powerful woman from Iceland who became one of the wealthiest and most influential landowners of her time. She not only held property, but also led her family through one of the most dangerous times in Viking history, establishing the early Viking settlements in Iceland. Viking marriages were not all the same. While monogamy was common, polygamy was also practiced, especially among the Viking elite. Chieftains and wealthy warriors often married multiple women, not only for love, but as a way to form alliances and ensure political power. These multiple marriages served as a form of networking and often came with practical purposes, such as gaining more land, wealth, and support during times of war. In addition to polygamy, there were also temporary unions formed by Viking warriors when they went on long expeditions. These ship marriages were more like companionships, forged out of necessity, and would last only as long as the journey or raid. These were often informal, but still provided the protection and emotional support needed during challenging times. Viking women could also marry foreigners after raids, sometimes marrying captives from other tribes, or even trading partners from distant lands. These relationships would start as forced unions, but could evolve into genuine marriages, especially if the women adapted and integrated into Viking culture. Such marriages helped strengthen ties between different cultures and expanded the Viking influence across the seas. At the core of Viking marriages was a strong sense of loyalty both to one's spouse and to one's family. Loyalty was the bedrock upon which Viking marriages were built. Viking husbands and wives were expected to remain fiercely committed to each other, not just in good times, but especially in times of struggle. When a Viking husband went to war, he knew that his wife would stay behind, holding the fort. She would protect their home, care for their children, and manage their lands. If the husband returned victorious, the marriage bond was celebrated, but if he never returned, the wife would often inherit his property and lead the family with the same strength and honor her husband would have shown. For Viking women, their loyalty to their spouse was equally important. They were expected to maintain the honor of the family, ensuring that the family's name remained untarnished and that the traditions of the Viking warrior code were upheld. Viking marriages were far more than simple unions of love. They were partnerships of power, bonds of loyalty, and pillars of a society built on family and honor. These marriages were designed not just to unite two people, but to strengthen the Viking community and ensure its survival through strength and cooperation. Through these rituals, customs, and shared values, Viking marriages formed the foundation of a society that valued honor and duty above all else. So, the next time you think of Viking love, remember it's not just about the warrior on the battlefield. It's about the partners who held the Viking way of life together. If you enjoyed this exploration into Viking marriages, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who might be just as fascinated with Viking history as you are. Join us next time for another exciting episode of Norse Social Stories, where we continue uncovering the hidden stories of the Vikings.